Well, welcome. Friday morning, Friday. This week's gone faster, I think. I've kind of got my head around this lockdown now. This week has been better than last week in terms of last week just seemed to go on forever and ever. But this week's been okay. It's Friday. We made it. So what we're going to do today is work on our upper body. And when I've been in classes or when I teach classes, thinking about upper body, we tend just to focus on shoulders, on our chest, and that's kind of about it. And I suddenly thought, what about these? What about our hands? What about our arms? And many of us are spending more time perhaps at computers, so our hands are at kind of a fixed position, maybe for longer than they ordinarily would. But regardless of that, when our hands are tense and tired, I mean, if you make a fist now, you can feel that tension is not only in your hand, it travels all the way up your arm, it comes into your neck and ultimately into your face. So if we don't learn how to release and stretch our hands, ultimately there's no point doing all the other bits, because if these things are still tight, it's going to ultimately affect our shoulders and our neck and our face. So we're going to do a little bit lying down to start with, a little bit of remedial work on our hands and on our wrists. It might seem a bit weird, but it's a really, really good stretch out. And also from a yoga point of view, our hands are just as much a part of our foundation of our practice. When you think about doing a downward dog or even just being on all fours, it's important that we strengthen and stretch our hands as well to help us have those solid foundations underneath us, as well as our feet and our legs. So a little bit for our hands and our arms to start with. It's a bit strange, but hopefully we'll get a good old stretch. So we're going to start lying down today. So I'm going to keep my feet on the floor, my knees bent up towards the ceiling today. But if you want to come to a fully stretched out position, feel free. Remember, if you do find it uncomfortable to lie completely flat, pop a little rolled up cushion or a blanket underneath your head. If you just find that your chin kind of is thrown up towards the ceiling a little bit, just pop something under your head so your whole spine is in that nice alignment there. So take a moment to get yourself nice and comfortable. Arms just relaxed alongside you. Legs in whatever position feels comfortable this morning. I'm going to keep my knees bent, feet on the floor, and just knock my knees together. But if you want to stretch your legs out, you go ahead and do that. Let's just close the eyes for a moment. Take a minute to arrive in our practice this morning. I'm just going to keep my eye open on the screen just to let some people in who might be arriving a bit later. Come on in, Sheila. We're just lying down if you've just joined us. And I read a wonderful quote from the novelist Barbara Kingsolver, and I just read it to you, and you might want to remember these words during the day. And she wrote, "Stop a minute, right where you are. Relax your shoulders, shake your head and spine like a dog shaking off cold water, and tell that imperious voice in your head to be still." So let's just stop right now, right where we are. Now maybe just, instead of shaking our head and our spine, we can maybe do that when we're standing up. Maybe just have a little roll of your head from side to side, just rolling across the back of your head there. So you're just really just beginning to very gently just release into the sides of the neck, very slowly, and then just bring the head to center. You might just want to rearrange the head so it's the very middle of the back of the head that's resting on the floor, relaxing your shoulders. So again, you might just want to just lift up your chest a little bit so you can scooch your shoulder blades down away from your ears. So we're already beginning to feel a little bit of breadth across our chest and an easing across our upper back. So just in case you didn't catch us at the beginning of the class, this one's going to work certainly at the beginning of our practice into our upper body, but we're including our hands into that equation. So just allow the arms to rest really easily down on the floor, preferably with the palms up towards the ceiling, so you can Allow your fingers just to soften. It might be just curling in towards the center of your palms. Just feel the weight of your arms just being supported by the floor there. So there's no need to hold on to any tension there. Letting go of whatever this week might have brought in terms of elations and frustrations, busyness, boredom. Just see if we can put that to one side and just press pause for the next hour. Ready to greet this practice with an open mind and open heart. A smile that will set us up for the rest of the day, hopefully feeling a little bit lighter and brighter. Allowing the breath to settle, lengthen and deepen this morning. A little bit colder out there, so sometimes the breath begins to get a little bit stuck in our chest as the mornings and days get a little colder, so encouraging that breath down into your lower belly. Relaxing your face and really making sure that the face stays relaxed throughout the practice. Again, thinking about how tension can travel just up the arms from the hands, but also down into your neck and your shoulders from your face. Uh-oh, I think I'm going to be camera bombed. So we'll start, we'll start just by working on our hands and our arms. So we'll just simply turn the palms down to the floor and have the arms resting down alongside you. So we're going to do a little bit for our wrists and our fingers now. So that's a little bit of a strange one. So imagine that you're going to keep the underside of your wrist on the floor, but begin to peel your palms, your fingers and your palms up off the floor until the fingers more or less point up towards the ceiling. And just try keeping the fingers more or less together as you stretch them up, and then spread the fingers nice and wide as you bring the palms all the way back down towards the floor. So we'll try that again. So you peel your fingers and your palms to the underside of the wrist, pressing down. And you might this time want to spread your fingers as you pull the fingers up towards the ceiling. And then keep the fingers nice and wide as you release the palms all the way back down to the floor. We'll do that a couple more times. Have a little play with keeping the fingers together, spreading the fingers wide. Arms stay straight. Underside of the wrist stays on the floor. If you're a little bit confused, have a look. I'm doing it with you. It's a bit strange, but I can feel a nice stretch running along the underside of my wrist and through my palms. Ooh, lovely. Let's do that just one more time. So again, you might have the fingers together. You might be spreading the fingers as you bring them up towards the ceiling and then lower them down. And then just let the arms relax. Just make sure you've released tension from your neck, your face. You might just want to roll again your head from side to side. Then I'm going to try that by turning the palms up towards the ceiling this time. So this time it's the top of your wrist that's going to stay resting on the floor. Milou is kind of now wrecking my mat here. So this time we're going to lift the back of the hands off the mat. So the fingers are going to start to curl in towards your palms, but you're trying to keep the top of your wrist connected to the floor. So you're feeling a nice stretch across the top of your wrist. And then fingers spread nice and wide as you relax the back of the hands downwards the floor. So once more, we peel the fingers back of the hands off the mat. So the fingertips are curling in towards your palms, but we're keeping the top of the wrists on the floor and then relax down. We'll try that a couple more times. So the arms stay straight. And again, you might notice I'm right-handed, so I can certainly feel I'm getting more of a stretch in my right hand and top of the right wrist. Last time, so you're curling, curling, curling. Lovely. And then when you release the hands, just again, consciously relax the shoulders, soften the face, maybe again, roll the head from side to side. And then we'll reach the arms up towards the ceiling and just twirl the wrists there. So like little flamenco hands, just let the wrist go. A few circles one way and then a few twirls in the opposite direction. Lovely. And then we'll interlace the hands and press the palms up towards the ceiling there. So we're going to draw circles with the arms. So I'm going to take my arms over to the right and then send the palms of my hands down towards my legs, towards my thighs. Arms come over to the left and then all the way back above the head. So just start to draw nice big circles. Might be big circles, might be small circles. You might keep the arms more or less straight. You might be bending them a little bit. Just nice big circles there. So get the shoulders involved. Head might move a little bit. Just think about easing some movement into the upper body there. Oh, I can feel some clicks and crunches. And then just take that round the opposite way. And this way might feel really strange because, again, the body kind of tends to move intuitively in the way that's the most comfortable for it. And so we change direction sometimes when moving in that way that's less intuitive. Let's do one more nice big circle there. Beautiful. And then we'll reach the arms up towards the ceiling. This time separating the hands, turning the palms inwards. Reach up nice and tall. So you're peeling your shoulder blades off the floor. Take a nice inhale. And as you exhale, let the shoulder blades sink down into the mat, softening across the back. Reaching up as you inhale, stretching across the upper back. And exhale, just drop the shoulder blades down into the floor. Really release the weight once more. Stretching up, so peel the upper back, shoulder blades off. And then slowly, slowly relax. You're going to bend the elbows and catch hold of your opposite wrist, your forearms, or your elbows. So your forearms are more or less level with the chest. Or take an inhale. And as you exhale, let's draw that left arm across your chest. You're bringing your right elbow down towards the floor. Bringing that left arm across your chest and try and slide or drop that left shoulder away from your ear. So we're getting a nice stretch across the upper back and the shoulder. Let's come all the way back up through center. And then this time we'll draw the right arm across the chest. So the left elbow might be resting on the floor, it might not. We're dropping that right shoulder away from the ear. Lovely, come back to center and just change the cross of your arm. So the other forearm is on top. And then again, we'll bring the left arm across. Shoulder dropping away from the ear. So I can just feel a nice, kind of quite a gentle stretch across my shoulder there. All the way back to center. So forearms roughly level with the chest. And then we change arms. So we bring that right arm across. Just make sure that that shoulder is away from your ear. And again, I can feel it more in this side because I'm right-handed. Lovely, we'll come all the way back up through center. Reach the arms up towards the ceiling and then bring your knees in towards your chest. One hand on each knee. Let's have a little rock through the lower back or a circle of your knees. Just release any tension because we've been lying down for a moment. Oh, nice stretch out there. And then we'll hook the ankles, separate the knees a little ways and make your way up to seated. So you might want to roll up. Sorry about that interruption from Milou at the beginning. Clearly he's woken up. So I'm going to sit cross-legged, but any configuration of your legs this morning, whatever works for you there. Sitting up nice and tall, we'll bring the hands together at the heart, drop the shoulders away from the ears, and think about lifting your breastbone to meet your thumbs. So as we inhale, we'll take the arms all the way up. And as you exhale, nice cactus of the arms, so elbows draw down, roughly level with the shoulders, nice broad chest. Inhale as you arrow the arms up, palms together. Exhale, hands come down to the heart. We'll interlace the hands, press the palms forwards and round the back. So follow out through the belly. Nice stretch out through the shoulder blades. Lovely, hands coming to the heart. Inhale as you take the arms up. We'll do that twice more. Exhale, nice cactus. So spread the fingers, draw the elbows down the back. Lovely. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, draw the hands down to heart. Interlace the hands and round the back as you push the palms away. So you're kind of shifting the weight towards the back of your sitting bones there. Lovely. Last time, hands come to the heart. Inhaling all the way up. So really lifting out the waist. Nice big cactus. Spread the fingers nice and wide. Open up through the chest this morning. Lovely. Inhaling up. Exhaling, hands come down to the heart. Last time to round the back. Push the palms forward. Drop the chin to the chest. Beautiful. And then we'll reach the arms all the way up. We'll bring the right hand down to the floor and the left hand just behind your head. So you're just kind of cupping the back of your head with your hand and try and pull that left elbow up and back. You maybe want to look up So you're getting a nice stretch across the chest, or take an inhale. And as you exhale, try and bring that left elbow toward your right knee. So we're stretching the back. Inhale as you point the elbow up, maybe rolling the gaze up. Really try and draw that elbow back. And exhale to close across the body. Lovely. Once more, inhale. Oh, nice way to stretch up through the chest and the back this morning. Lovely. This time we'll keep the elbow pointing up towards the ceiling. You can keep the hand there supporting the head if that feels nice this morning. Or stretch that left arm alongside your ear, opening up some space, gluing down through your sit bones. Lovely. We'll come all the way back up through center. Change the cross of your legs if you had your legs crossed. Again, it might feel the less intuitive way this time. Left hand to floor this time, right hand behind the head. So again, draw that top elbow back. Really open up through the chest. You maybe want to look up as you inhale, and exhale, we close across the body. So right elbow towards left knee. Inhaling, opening up through the chest. You're really trying to draw that top elbow back. And then when you're ready to exhale, we close up like a little oyster shell. Once more, inhale. Ooh, lovely. And exhale. And this time we'll keep the elbow pointing up towards the ceiling. You can stay there. It's really nice if you've got a sore shoulder or you just want to support the neck this morning. Or release that top arm. Glue down through that right sit bone and find some length through the side of the body. Lovely. We'll come all the way back up. And release the arms down. Lovely. So I'm just going to turn sideways on for you. We're going to take the right arm up towards the ceiling. Turn the palm away from you. You might want to drop your chin down towards your chest and see if you can bring your fingertips just maybe to the nape of the neck, maybe between the shoulder blades, and then sit up nice and tall. Left hand just supporting the tricep there. So you might just want to stay there, really trying to avoid leaning the body forward. So nice tall spine. Beautiful. Some of you might want to stay there, just supporting and encouraging that elbow to point up towards the ceiling. Some of you might be able to reach the left arm out to the side, turn the palm away from you. Again, you might need to lean forwards and see if you can hook your fingers. If you can't quite get your fingers, you might just want to hold on to a piece of t-shirt there. It's called cow face arms. So it doesn't matter whether you've got your left arm holding onto your tricep or wrapping behind you. We'll take a nice deep inhale, and as you exhale, take a little side bend over to the left. Trying to keep the chest open, trying to keep the elbow pointing up towards the ceiling. Lovely. We'll come all the way back up through center. Releasing both arms out now, level with the shoulders. Turn the palms up and think about now trying to tilt your little fingers up towards the ceiling. So you're really opening through the chest, maybe lift the chin, lifting up through the breastbone. Oh, it's quite hard work there. It's called a glorious warrior if we're doing this standing. Beautiful. Soften off through the stretch and bring the right arm across the chest this time. I'm going to support just above the elbow, but you can support below the elbow, bringing the arm across, dropping the shoulder away from your ear. So wherever feels the most comfortable. Lovely. Sitting up nice and tall. We'll drop left ear towards left shoulder. So creating some space, keep that right shoulder soft. Lovely. Head comes back to center. Right arm comes all the way back behind you, palm turning away from you. Catching hold of that right wrist with your left hand and just draw that arm behind you, seeing if you can bring your right wrist towards your opposite waist there. Sitting up nice and tall, and once more, left ear to left shoulder. But this time you maybe want to tilt your head and take your gaze towards your left knee. So you're gently encouraging that right shoulder to open. Being really gentle with shoulders and necks this morning. Oh, I'm getting a nice stretch out there. Slowly, slowly bring the head back to center and release that arm. Lovely. Let's try that on the other side. So left arm reaches up. So I've got the palm facing back behind me. Drop the chin to the chest and see if you can bring your fingertips, maybe just to the, might just be to the back of the head, the nape of the neck, or sliding between the shoulder blades. And then lift the chest, lift the gaze. Right hand might just support underneath there. Or again, you might be able to take the right arm out to the side, palm turns away from you. Again, you might want to lean forwards and see if you can hook your fingers. You might find it works on one side and not the other. So again, that top elbow pointing up towards the ceiling, and we'll take that little side bend to the right this time. So glue down through your left sit bone. Oh, it's remarkably hard, isn't it? Let's come all the way back through center. Both arms reaching out, ready for that little glorious warrior. So we reach the arms out, palms turn up. Then we try and tilt the little fingers up, lift the chest, lift the chin. Lovely, stretching the arms out, trying to roll your thumbs behind you. Lovely. And then softening from the stretch, bringing the left arm across the body this time. So you can hold above or below the elbow, drop that shoulder away from your ear. So we're getting a little stretch out through the shoulder there. And then this time we'll drop the head to the right. Getting a little stretch in the neck. Lovely. Come all the way back through center. Reaching that left arm out to the side. Palm faces away from you as you bring the hand behind the body, catching hold of the wrist. We'll bring that left wrist, just snuggle it into your right waist or just to the low back. Sitting up nice and tall. And again, we'll drop the head to the right. And then maybe tilt the head this time so you're looking down towards your right knee. Try and draw that shoulder back, sitting up nice and tall. So we're getting, again, that stretch across your shoulder into your neck. Woo! Lovely. And then slowly release. Let go of the arms. Let's just take a nice shoulder roll or two there, just to release any tension there. So you might do a couple one way and then a couple the other way. Always looks funny when you roll your shoulders forwards, doesn't it? And then we'll find our way over onto all fours. I'm just going to roll over my ankles, but feel free to find your way there. And we'll, again, give the hands a little shake before you place them down, spreading the fingers nice and wide, hands directly under the shoulders, and the knees carefully placed underneath the hips. So pressing into your hands, so we've got that nice support between your shoulder blades and that flat back. Lovely. We'll take an inhale. And as you exhale, round the back like an angry cat. So really spread the shoulder blades apart. This time as you inhale, we'll dip the belly, tailbone tilts, chest comes forwards, keep pressing into your hands, cow pose. Exhale as you round. So we've got a little softness at the elbows as you continue to do that. So the elbows aren't locked, but we're feeling that we're supported across the upper back, never sinking between the shoulder blades, especially when we inhale. So the shoulder blades squeezing towards one another as you inhale, and then separating and spreading as you exhale. Let's do that once more. Such a simple move, but it's such a good one. Lovely. So we'll find that nice tabletop position. And we're going to do a little variation on our thread needle and take the arm in slightly different directions to get into our shoulder. So we'll start with our left arm first of all. So as you inhale, we'll take the left arm up. And as you exhale, we're going to feed the arm underneath the body on the diagonal. So you're reaching to the outside of your right thigh towards the back of your mat. Have a little look if you're confused. Inhale, we'll take that left arm up. We'll do that again. And as you exhale, reaching underneath and on the diagonal, so almost towards the back of your mat, outside of right thigh. Inhale, take the left arm up. Exhale, straight underneath the chest this time, in our more usual thread needle. Lovely. And again, inhaling, arm lifts, really turn the chest. Exhaling underneath the chest, reaching over to the right. Lovely. Inhaling, taking the arm up. And this time as you exhale, bring that left hand up to the right hand of your mat, so up on the diagonal. Sink the weight back, maybe bend that right arm so you can make a little support for your head and get a nice stretch out through that left side of the body. So the forehead just resting on your right hand, you can make a little fist there. Lovely, a little C shape through the spine there just to open up some space. Lovely. And then we'll come back onto all fours, hands under shoulders, knees under hips. Let's try that with the right arm. Right arm lifting, inhale. Exhaling underneath on the diagonal. So you're reaching to the kind of outside of your left thigh. Lovely. Inhale, open the chest. Underneath and on the diagonal. So you're reaching to the left corner of your mat behind you. Lovely. Inhale, right arm lift, open the chest. straight underneath you, underneath the chest. Exhale, lovely. One more like that. It's just our usual way, isn't it, of threading the needle. So we're just getting into different areas of the shoulder and upper back. Inhale, open the chest. Exhaling, right hand comes to the top left-hand corner of your mat. Sink the weight back, maybe making again that little support for your head by bending your left arm. And we're trying to drop that right shoulder a little bit, armpit towards the floor, stretching out through the right side of the body there. Lovely. And then we'll make our way back onto all fours. Little one for the wrist now, so go easy on this one. Last one for our wrist before we come up into a downward dog and work on the lower body a little bit. So you'll start just by turning your fingers out to the side. So they're facing the outside edges of your mat. Lovely, see how that feels. And then see if you can start to turn your fingers towards your knees. So the underside of my wrists are facing forwards. Now you can always kind of find a midway position, just have the fingers pointing out to the side. If you've got your fingers pointing towards your knees, you've got your shoulders above your wrists. And if you want a little bit more stretch, gently sink the weight back towards your heels, keeping your palms flat to the floor. Ooh, are we feeling that? Let's slowly bring the weight forwards, turning the fingers out to the side, turning the fingers forwards, sitting back on your heels for a moment, and just twirl the wrists out. Oh, could you feel that? I can really feel that. Give the hands a little bit of a shake, but hopefully now we've really warmed up our hands ready for a downward dog. So making sure your hands are level. I've noticed I have one hand slightly forwards of the other, so hands are level there, tucking the toes under. Woo! Let's lift the hips up and back into a downward dog. We've not really warmed up through the legs, so let's use this as an opportunity to start pedaling out through the legs this morning. Letting the head go, so not undoing all of that good work that we just stretched out by scrunching up the face or having the ears around the shoulders there. So nice broad upper back as we just slowly pedal out through the feet. Beautiful. And then finding that nice height from the hips. So imagine I'm drawing your hips up and back. So your arms are lengthening, the sides of the body are lengthening, hips nice and high. Lovely. And then slowly, slowly we'll drop down onto our hands and knees, flattening the feet. And we'll start by just bringing your right knee in towards your chest. Open that right knee out to the right, keeping the left arm straight. And then circle it all the way back, thighs brush together. We'll do that twice more. So seeing if you can keep the weight even through the arms, you're not bending that left elbow as we just mobilize into the hips this morning. Lovely. When you've done that third circle, carefully place the knee down. Other side, so left knee, we pick it up, bring to the chest, take it out to the side, like a little dog having a pee on a lamppost. Keeping the right elbow straight, so we are working the upper back a little bit here. Stabilizing the shoulders, even though we're primarily opening up through the hips. And when you've done that third circle, bring the knee back underneath the hips. Tuck the toes, come back into that downward facing dog. Lovely. Bringing the feet together now. Inhale and take that right leg up and back, turning the toes out slightly, a little bit of hip opener. And as you exhale, slowly lower the foot. Other side without transferring the weight across your hands as you lift the left leg. Lovely. And then slowly lower down. So taking the right leg up, bending your knee and taking a little twist. You're looking underneath your right armpit as you drop the heel towards your bottom. Keep pressing your rib cage back towards that standing leg, that left thigh there. Lovely. And then slowly we'll bring that right foot down to the floor. Other side, left leg lifting, bending the knee, dropping the heel down towards the right buttock there. So you're having a little peep underneath the left armpit, pressing your rib cage towards your thighs. Lovely. And then slowly lowering the legs down. You're going to bend the knees as you look forwards. And then step or spring your right foot forwards between your hands. And we'll drop the back knee. Help it out if it doesn't quite get there. Let's sweep the arms up into a nice lunge. And then we'll bring the hands down, level with the shoulders. I'm just going to adjust the camera there. So your palms are Facing forwards, and your hands are level with your shoulders there. That's a little bit better, lovely. So as you push your palms forwards, we'll round the back, dropping the chin to the chest, so getting a nice stretch up through the upper back. And then make strong fists. Draw the arms back, elbows skim the rib cage, opening up through the chest as you squeeze the shoulder blades together. We'll take an inhale. Exhale, palms press forwards, rounding the back. And then as you inhale, fists draw back, elbows skim the rib cage, open up through the chest. Lovely. So exhale, really with resistance, push the hands forwards. And then inhale, squeeze the shoulder blades together. Lovely. We'll arrow the arms up this time. Take a nice inhale. And as you exhale, bring both hands down, frame that front foot. Now you can pick up that back knee if you wish as you come into a twist towards the knee. Right arm lifting. And feel that lovely spread across the chest as you reach the arms up and press the hand down. And some of you might even be able to reach that right arm back a little ways, opening up through the shoulder. Lovely. Looking down, bring the hands down. Begin to lift the hips up and back as you slide your way back into a downward facing dog or all fours. Inhale, rolling the body forwards to plank, shoulders above the wrist, keep pressing into your hands. Exhale, lower the knees and come down onto your front there, flattening your feet. Hands alongside the shoulders there. I'm just going to lift my chest so you can hear me, but you've got your forehead on the floor. And now hover your hands just an inch or so off the floor. Squeeze the elbows up towards the ceiling, shoulder blades working there, squeezing towards one another. And see if you can lift the chest. It's not going to come up very high. Keep the gaze down, keep pressing into the tops of the feet. And then slowly lower the head, lower the hands. Let's do that once more. Squeeze the shoulder blades together. Point the elbows up towards the ceiling. And then as you inhale, lift the chest. Lovely. Tops of the feet pressing into the floor and lower. Let's keep the hands on the floor this time. And as you inhale, come into that little cobra. Can you feel the difference? Can you keep squeezing the shoulder blades together? Lovely. Exhale to lower. Let's come back onto all fours. Tuck the toes, lift the hips, downward facing dog this morning. Lovely. You can stay on all fours if you want. Beautiful. So you're going to bend the knees, look forwards, and step, spring, or help left foot forwards, dropping that back knee. Rising up into that lunge, sweep the arms up. And then hands come just in front of the shoulders. Again, palms facing forwards, ready for that lovely one for upper back and chest. So take an inhale. Exhale, with resistance, push forwards. And then inhale, fists, draw back, elbows, squeeze past the rib cage, opening up through the chest. Exhale, so you're pulling your belly button back towards your spine, hollowing out through your belly there. Lovely. Inhale, elbows draw back. Last time. Ooh, lovely. Elbows draw back. So keep the chest lifted this time as we arrow the arms up, lengthening the waist. And then hands frame that front foot. Option to pick up the back knee. Just making sure you've not popped the hips to the left. Just we turn to the left arm reaching up. And again, find that lovely breadth across the chest. Some of you might even be able to reach that top arm back a little ways. Lovely. Hands coming down. Sliding the hips up and back as we step back into your downward facing dog. Inhaling to plank. Exhaling to lower, so you can always bring your knees down first. Lovely. Flattening the feet. Hands hover. Inhale, lift the chest. Keep squeezing the shoulder blades together. Exhale to lower. Hands hover. Inhaling, lift. So you're using the strength of the back to lift you up. Lovely. Keep the hands just underneath the shoulders. You can take them wider if you wish. This time as you come into your cobra, pressing the hands down, keeping the hips pushed down. Lovely. And then slowly lower down. Gathering the hands underneath the shoulders, pushing back onto all fours, up into your downward dog. And then from that downward dog, we'll walk your feet towards your hands, or bring your hands back towards your feet, whatever works for you this morning. Now, feet hip width apart, soften your knees, and just let the body hang. You can cradle the elbows and have that little sway, but let the upper body relax, let the head feel heavy, maybe just let the head shake a little bit. Obviously, if you don't want to come into that forward fold this morning, just bring your hands just above your knees there, so your head is higher than your heart if you find that you get a head rush or if the back feels tight today. Lovely. And then let the arms dangle. Let's really bend the knees. So let the knees bend. Keep the chin tucked in towards your chest. And unfold your spine as you roll your way up to stand. Take your time, take your time. Lovely. I'm going to come round to face you now. So lovely one to work into our shoulders. So let's just keep the knees nice and soft. Bring the shoulders forwards and up. And then all the way back and down. So really exaggerate that movement. And again, inhale, shoulders slide forwards and up. And exhale, back and down. Lovely, one more. So you're really exaggerating that movement. Such a good one to do when you've been stuck at a desk all day. Lovely. So keep a little softness in the knee. Reach the right arm all the way up. Look down towards your left foot and we'll reach that right arm across and down towards your left foot. And then your left arm takes over. Left arm sweeps in front, carrying you all the way up. And a big circle to bring the hand all the way back down alongside you. Right arm lifting again. Inhale. Exhale, look towards left foot, and that's where you reach for. Left arm takes over. Inhaling, left arm sweeps forwards and up. And exhale all the way back down. One more. So again, really making that movement as big and bold as you can through the shoulders. So we're stretching out through the upper back. Left arm takes over. Inhale. And exhale. Should we try that with the left arm leading? So inhale, left arm up. Exhale as you look towards right foot, and that's where you're reaching. Right arm takes over, sweeping it forwards and up, all the way up. And exhale down. Look, a beautiful, graceful windmill. Left arm lifting. Inhale. Exhale, so you reach over on the diagonal. Lovely. And then the opposite arm, right arm takes over. And then all the way back. Lovely. Last time. Inhale. So it's a lovely one to stretch out through the upper back, mobilize the shoulders, right arm, last time, all the way up. And all the way down. Beautiful. So we're going to bring the hands to the hips. So making sure I get the camera right here so you can see my feet as well. So hands to hips. Just step your right leg back into a warrior one. So feet are hip width apart. Back foot slightly angled out. You're really pressing into the outside edge of that back foot. So hips and heart are roughly square to the top edge of your mat. Lovely. Hands coming to the heart. So we're not on a tightrope, we're on a train track with the legs. So we're going to straighten both legs as you arrow the arms up. And then coming into a flat back, we'll bring the hands down to your thighs, elongating through the back of the body. Lovely. Bending the front knee all the way up with the arms, sweeping the arms up, pressing into that outer heel on that right foot. Hands coming back down to heart. Lovely. Let's add the breath. Inhaling, arrowing arms up as you straighten the legs. Keep a long spine as you exhale, so you're hinging forwards, drawing that left hip back. Lovely. Bend the knees, sweep the arms up, really root down through the feet to rise. And exhale, hands coming down to heart. Lovely. So we're going to add on this next time. Inhaling, straighten the legs, arrow the arms up. You're going to exhale and hold in that flat back. So hands might be stacked one on top of the other. So we're in a variation of pyramid. And try and draw that left hip back, right hip forwards. Lovely. So hollow out through the belly. You might want to stay there with the hands just resting above your knee. You might want to slide the body down, resting your hands on either side of that front foot, letting the body go. You might actually want to squeeze your inner thighs together. So keep drawing left hip back, right hip forwards. Lovely. So if you've got your hands on the floor, just see now if we can all bring your hands on your shin. Straightening through the arms, you're coming into that flat back. Might be a little bit of balance challenge, looking down towards that left big toe. Firming up through the belly. And then hands coming to hips, going to come up the long way. So keep the chest long as you rise all the way up. And then we'll bend the front knee, step off the back foot, and we'll bring the feet together. I'll turn the opposite way. So feet hip width, keep them hip width as you take the left leg back. So toes just turn out ever so slightly. You might just want to walk your feet even further apart so you can square your hips and your heart to the top of the mat. Hands come to heart, soften the shoulders. Let's take the arms up as you straighten the legs. Long back, shoulders slide away from ears as you bring the hands just to rest on the thigh above the knee. long spine, bending the knee, press into that back foot to rise up. So you're pressing through the outside edge of that back foot. Hands coming to heart, lovely. Let's do that once more. So legs straighten, inhale. Exhale, keep the legs straight as you hinge forwards, trying to draw the right hip back this time. Inhale as you bend the knee, sweep the arms up. Hands to heart, back into that warrior, lovely. So we're going to add on this next time, straighten the legs, arrow the arms up, inhale. Exhale, coming into that flat back and holding. So hands just resting above the knee. You can always adjust that back foot, hop it in slightly, turn the toes slightly. So you get the sense of, again, drawing that right hip back, squeezing the inner thighs towards one another. You might want to allow the body to yield over that right leg. Draw the right hip back. Lovely. And then let's see if we can bring one hand and then the other to the shin, that front shin. Lengthening through the spine, hollowing out through the belly, a little bit of balance there. So you're looking towards your right foot, right big toe. Lovely. And then hands to hips, coming up the long way. So all the way up. Press off that back foot and bring the feet together. Lovely. It's going to turn around once more. So we're going to add on this next time. So right leg stepping back into that warrior one again. Beautiful. We're going to straighten the legs straight away. Take the arms out to the side, level with the shoulders, and see if you can bring the hands behind you and maybe just clasp the wrists or the forearms or the elbows. Now really think about rolling the shoulders down away from the ears, opening up through the chest. We'll take an inhale, and as you exhale, back into that flat back. So drawing that left hip back, pressing into the outside edge of that right foot. Beautiful. And then bringing the hands either onto your thigh, onto your shin, or finding the floor, allowing the body to yield. Lovely. So we're going to add on. So you can stay in that little flat back, or if your hands are on the floor, we're going to bend the front knee so you can walk your hands forwards, forming a triangle with the front foot. Shift the weight into that left foot and take that right leg up into a standing split. Lovely. And if you're feeling super challenged and balanced, you can bring your left hand just around the back of your left shin or ankle. Beautiful. Both hands finding the floor. Step that right foot just behind the left foot. Soften the knees, roll your way up to stand. If that's too wibbly wobbly, you can keep your feet apart. So right foot just behind left foot. Lovely. Going to bring left hands to left hip, bend the front knee and take that right arm all the way up and over. So we're getting a nice hip stretch, pushing the hips to the right, reaching that right arm up and over. Slowly come back to center. And we'll step the feet hip width apart. Lovely, let's try that on the other side. So left leg stepping back. Again in that little warrior one. And then we'll straighten the legs. Arms coming out to the side. Seeing again if you can reach behind you to take hold of opposite wrist. Or forearms or elbows. Square up through the chest. Roll the shoulders away from the ears. We'll take an inhale. Exhale will come forwards, hinging forwards into that flat back. So think about elongating through the crown of the head. Lovely. And then slowly we'll release the arms, hands coming to your thigh, to your shin, or finding the floor. If you found the floor, again, that sense of squeezing the inner thighs towards one another. And then we'll bend the front knee, walk your hands forwards, making that little triangle with your front foot. Shift the weight so you can take the left leg up and back into that standing splits, looking towards that right knee. You might bring your right hand onto your shin or ankle. You're feeling super brave. Bring the hands to the floor. Slowly we'll tuck that left foot just behind your right foot, or bring the feet together. Slowly, slowly roll your way up. Ooh, it's a little bit wibbly wobbly, isn't it? Right hands to hip, bend that right knee And take the left arm up and over. So we're coming into that lovely half moon stretch there. Beautiful. We'll come all the way back through center and step the feet apart. Lovely. Bring the hands together at the heart. Feet hip width apart now. Soften the shoulders. And as you take the arms up towards the ceiling, separating the hands, really get the sense of dropping the shoulders away from the ears. And then see if you can lift up onto the balls of the feet without the ankles swaying out to the side. With resistance, lower the heels, bring the hands back down to the heart. Keep the chest lifted as we come into chair pose. So knees stay tracking forwards. Beautiful. Rise on up. Take the arms up. You can stay there and just lengthen, drop the shoulders or rise up onto the balls of the feet. Beautiful. With resistance, lower the heels as you bring the hands to the heart. Chest stays open as we come back down into that chair pose. Lovely. Last time, so we're going to add on. So take the arms up as you straighten the legs. And then we'll lift up onto the balls of the feet. Beautiful. Now keep the heels lifted this time. See if you can bend your knees and lower your hips towards your heels. If you get stuck, just come into a forward fold and we'll meet you there. But if you can, slowly, slowly sinking your way down, sinking your way down. Woo! Slowly, slowly, beautiful. So you end up in that little perch on your heels or in a forward fold, which is where we're going to end up. Bring your fingertips to the floor. Let's lift the hips high. All in that forward fold now. And then we'll take 2 big steps back into your downward facing dog. Beautiful. From your downward dog, roll the weight forwards to plank. Shoulders stay above your wrists now as you drop your heels to the left into side plank, taking that right arm up towards the ceiling. Option to bring that underneath knee to the floor for a little bit of extra support there. Beautiful. Keep the shoulder above the wrist. Let's come all the way back into plank. Spinning your heels to the right. Taking the left arm up. Remember, you can bring that underneath knee to the floor if you need to. Push the hips up a little higher. Beautiful. Come all the way back down into your plank pose. Lower down onto your knees. Widening knees, big toes point together. And let's ease hips to heels. Resting one hand on top of the other so the elbows point to the sides of your mat there, making a support for your head. And just allow your upper back to relax, your chest to melt. Oh, well done. Softening, softening, softening. Beautiful. Remembering to relax your face, soften the shoulders. Lovely. And then lifting your chest. Walking your hands back towards your knees. You point the knees forwards, drop the bottom to one side and swish the legs out. Now we've not stretched out so much through the legs, even though we've done some standing posture. So let's just finish off by shifting the focus onto our lower body as much as our upper body. So legs extended, you might want to slide your flesh of your bottom just out to the side there, so you're on your sitting bones. Inhale as you sweep the arms up. And as you exhale, let's take a lovely yield forwards into a forward fold, hands finding your shins, your thighs, or even hooking your feet. And can you soften your shoulders here? Let the head go, so you might even want to shake your head a couple of times. Lovely. Walk your hands quietly back up your legs so you can once more lift the chest. And again, inhaling, growing nice and tall as you reach the arms up. Exhaling, hinging forwards, allowing the arms to relax. Lovely. Easy with the breath. And then walking the hands all the way back up the legs. Come round to face you. We'll bring that right heel in towards your bottom and then towards your groin, and then allow that right knee just to open out to the side. So if you want to pop something underneath that right knee to help it relax, feel free. Just square yourself up over that extended leg. Inhaling, take the arms up. Exhaling, this time over that left leg. And if you feel that your chest is veering off a little bit to one side or the other, try bringing that right hand to the outside of that left leg or the outside of the foot there. So you can just bring your chest more or less squarely over that extended leg. Ease your way down. Elongating up and out of the hips. Walk your way back up, lifting the chest, raising the arms as you inhale. We'll take a little twist to the right as you exhale. So left hand coming across to the knee or the thigh, other hand behind you, stretching out through that left heel. Lovely. Inhale as you come back through center. Exhale, taking that little twist to the left this time. So right hand coming to the outer thigh or knee, other hand behind you. Lovely. We'll come all the way back through center. Now just bring that right knee to point towards the ceiling, and then right foot, just place it alongside your left knee. So your knee points up towards the ceiling. Hands come behind you, fingertips pointing forwards or slightly out to the side there. Press the floor away, lift the chest. And then we'll start to lift the hips, pointing the left foot towards the floor, so you're powering into that right foot, gazing up towards the ceiling. Lovely. Slowly, slowly, we'll lower the hips and bringing that right foot this time across to the outside of that left leg. You can lean into that left bottom and swish the left leg around. Just make sure you can feel grounded through both sit bones there. Lovely. So left hand or elbow draws that knee in towards the chest. Right arm lifts, inhale. Big circle of the shoulder and the chest as you exhale. So your fingertips might find the floor behind your right hip. You might even walk towards your left hip, opening up through the shoulders. Keep sitting down evenly through the sit bones. Rinsing out through the spine there. Lovely. Slowly, slowly we'll unravel. Just lean into your hands so you can stretch the legs out. And then we'll bring the left heel in towards the groin, allowing that left knee to open. And if you find the knee kind of floats horribly in space, pop a little jumper or something underneath your knee or your thigh there so you can relax the leg. So try and square yourself up over that extended leg. Inhale, take the arms up. Exhale, we'll fold forward. So again, if you find that you're kind of veering off to one side or the other, bring the outside, the left hand to the outside of your right foot or leg and see if you can just ease the body more squarely over that right leg there. Easy with the breath there. Trying again to keep tension away from your shoulders and your face. Lovely. Slowly, slowly roll your way up, taking the arms up as you inhale, ready for that twist to the left as you exhale. So right hand comes across to your knee or your thigh, other hand just comes just behind you, opening up through the chest. It's very gentle. Inhale through center. Let's take that twist to the right. Beautiful. And then we'll come all the way back through center. And we'll bring that left foot this time alongside the right knee. So the knee points up towards the ceiling. Hands coming behind you. So you can just press into your hands and lift the chest. You can stay there if you want. Or push into that left foot. Lifting the hips. You're pointing the right toes down towards the floor. Chin stays tucked in a little ways there. Lovely. And then we'll lower the hips. You can keep the right foot left foot where it is, getting my right to left confused, or you can step it across. You can take a little lean into that right buttock so you can swish the foot behind you, making sure you've left enough space for your bottom. Right hand or right elbow brings that knee in. Left arm, so take a nice deep breath in as you draw that big circle up and exhale, fingertips finding the floor. Might just be behind your left hip. You might be able to walk the hand round towards your right hip a little ways. So it depends how open we are in the shoulder there. So think about lifting up and out of your hips there. Oh, I think I can hear a bit of rain out there, guys. It's not looking too promising today, is it? Slowly, slowly, let's come all the way back through center. Let's stretch both legs out. Now we've got lots of options here. We'll take the hands behind you, last little bit for shoulders, fingertips pointing forward. So I like to turn mine out slightly because I've got tight shoulders. Press the floor away. Think about squeezing the shoulder blades together, lifting and opening up through the chest. Option to stay there. Or this time, as you lift the hips, we point all 10 toes towards the floor. If that's too much, keep the hips on the floor, or you can bend one knee, just as we did the other, in our other version there. Slowly, slowly, chin coming to chest as you bring the hips down, bending the knees, so you can ease your way down onto your back, and bring your knees in towards your chest. And as you take a little rock of the knees from side to side, just turn your head away, opposite direction to your knees, so you get a little massage out through your neck. That upward facing plank can sometimes create a little tension in the neck there. Beautiful. And then coming back to center, bringing your feet to the floor, heels snuggled in close towards your bottom, arms alongside you. Let's come into a shoulder bridge there. So pressing into the feet, lifting up through the chest. Then you might want to just pick up your head and slide it away from you a little bit. Option to interlace the hands underneath you as you tuck one shoulder blade and then the other towards one another. Pressing the hands down, we'll squeeze the bottom there. And if you want to finish off with a little bit of strength here, you can stay here or just bring your right knee to your chest. See if you can take that leg all the way up towards the ceiling. Keep the hips high. Knee comes to chest. Foot coming down to floor. Lovely. Keep the hips lifted as you shift sides. So left knee to chest. Leg extends up towards the ceiling. Keep the hips high as you bring the knee to the chest. And the foot coming to the floor. Lovely. Let's rise up onto the balls of the feet. Release the arms down alongside you. And keeping the heels lifted if you wish, we'll ripple the spine down. Slowly, 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 slowly. Beautiful. And when the hips touch down, the heels can land. Stretch the legs out, reach the arms back and find that delicious, full body stretch there. Spread the fingers, maybe have a little yawn there. Oh, lovely. And then slowly, slowly, slowly. Bring the arms all the way back down alongside you. Turning the palms up towards the ceiling. Maybe taking the feet a little wider apart or even bringing your heels back towards your bottom. So your feet are resting on the floor. If your legs are extended, just roll the ankles. Toes just rolling in and out. And let the toes roll out. Let the hips open. Maybe have a little snuggle through your upper back, so making whatever movements you need to get comfortable there. If you want to pop a blanket on or a jumper, feel free. Let's remind ourselves of those words I began with, to stop a minute right where you are. Relax your shoulders. Shake your head and spine like a dog shaking off cold water. And tell that imperious voice in your head to be still. So again, not quite dog-like and shaking too dramatically. You might want to take, again, that little roll across the back of the head there, just for a moment. Relaxing the neck. Before you bring the head back to center, again, just arranging the body in such a way that the very middle of the back of your head is resting on the floor. You might want to gently arch your back so you can slide the shoulder blades down and away from your ears, chest open. Relaxing your shoulders, softening your face. I think we could all do with that reminder every now and again to just remind that imperious voice in our head which tells us to do this, do that, just for the next few moments to be still. And hopefully during the practice, when we've stretched out across the upper body, we've worked a little bit into the lower body, you might just have been brought to awareness of those spots of tension you might have been carrying and brought to the mat this morning. You might have noticed your shoulders felt tight, your hands or your wrists felt tight. So can you direct the breath down into that particular passport of tension you might have been carrying this morning? Making sure your arms are resting easily. That the fingers are soft, remembering that idea that tension can travel up the arms as well as down from the face into the shoulders and the neck. When that imperious voice threatens to come back at you with orders for the rest of the day, very quietly, just ask it very politely to be still, so you can focus on right here, right now, and being with your breath. Never feeling guilty to rest. If you need just a little longer this morning, just quietly with your own thoughts, your own breath, just stepping off that treadmill of responsibilities for a while longer, feel free just to stay lying on the floor and I'll finish the meeting and you can take as long as you want. But if you are ready to face the rest of the day, hopefully with a longer neck, smoother, softer shoulders, and a lighter and brighter heart, very gently starting with your hands and your fingers. Just start a little wiggling through your fingers, maybe a little turning through the wrists. Maybe some clicking and crunching there. Lovely. And then maybe the same with your feet, a little wiggling of your toes, rolling through your ankles. And then let's find that full body extension again. So we'll straighten the legs, we'll take the arms back behind you. Oh, finding as much space, filling as much space as you can there. Beautiful. Before we softly lower the arms, walk your heels back in towards you and then bring your knees in towards your chest. And then from there, slide the shoulders away from your ears. And if you wish, bring your nose towards your knees. You're in a little ball there. So we're stretching the lower and the upper parts of your spine. Shoulders away from ears. And then lower the head. Lower the shoulders. And then just quietly roll yourself onto one side or the other. And then find your way to a comfortable seated position when you're ready. Lovely. The shimmy of the shoulders. Now we can shake our spine like a dog, can't we? Lovely. Let's bring the hands together at the heart. And there's always a very gentle pressure between your palms. So we feel a little bit of activity across the collarbones, but a softness across the shoulders, a lightness across your face as you gently bring your chin down towards your chest, maybe the hint of a smile at the corner of your eyes, the corner of your mouth. And I'll just leave you with these very wise words. I think I'm going to pin this up somewhere. Drop the idea that you are Atlas, carrying the world on your shoulders. The world would go on even without you. Don't take yourself quite so seriously. I think I'm going to remind myself of that. And namaste, my lovely yogis. Lovely to start Friday off with you as ever. Oh, go and enjoy the rest of this weekend. I don't think we'll be seeing too much autumnal sunshine.